What we do know is that this president is working outside the bounds of the Constitution, and that there are National Guard from the state of Texas that are being quote unquote trained just outside of the city of Chicago. And keep in mind, these individuals do not have policing powers. They do not have arresting powers. So the judge right now in Illinois is looking at what exactly is the mission of the National Guard from the state of Texas. We know this is illegal, unconstitutional. That's already been proven in the courts in Oregon, and we fully expect the same ruling.
Hey, Kevin, the courts in Oregon proved it's unconstitutional. A district judge.
To take place here in the state of Illinois.
And the White House says that they're doing what they're allowed to do under Title X, the law. They say that these operations are designed to protect federal facilities and officers. And there have been some protesters around Chicago that have blocked access to the ICE facility in Broadview. Does that prove that this mobilization is needed?
No. In fact, this president is working to look, from the very beginning, we always knew that sending in the federal agents was a pretext to the National Guard. His ultimate goal is to send the military into American cities, which there aren't people who are signing up.
Can you stop it? Look, if y'all would have backed up ICE agents, the military wouldn't be there right now. Yeah. Y'all told the police officers to stand down when they were cornered by a mob. Come on now, be honest.
To serve and protect our democracy abroad. To be then unleashed on the cities that are actually raising them. What we have seen is a full escalation from these federal agents. And a man was shot and killed. Another person was shot by federal agents just this past weekend. They unleashed tear gas on my local police department. Over 24 police officers.
I mean, come on, you think ICE is there? The cops over there shoot tear gas. They're shooting tear gas grenades at the police officers. They're escalating everything. Don't you think you escalated everything when you told your police officers to stand down? Yeah, but for him to say they're shooting at Chicago PD, man, come on. He's giving the impression that ICE is just shooting innocent bystanders. Yeah.
Were subject to this type of violent escalation. The people in Chicago are very clear about our fundamental right to protest. That is a fundamental right for our democracy, and that's what we're going to continue to protect.
Right. Now, the woman that was shot, DHS has said they did that for defensive reasons. She was car ramming, but there are certainly questions around.
And she had a gun. She was car ramming. It is.
I mean, that still. But when it comes to what I had mentioned, for example, protesters blocking access to federal buildings, what is your message to those protesters? I mean, do you support them blocking access?
What I've always said is that we have to peacefully assemble, and we do that nonviolently. That is how we have transformed this country. The city of Chicago.
You see that? He didn't say, no, don't block access for ICE. Right. Maybe if you were to send some police officers to keep everything nice and calm and peaceful down there, allow people to protest, but don't allow them to block access to an ICE facility, this wouldn't escalate it. Just maybe. I don't know. I'm not a mayor. I'm just talking. So he condones what they're doing. Pretty much. He totally condones it. Yeah. All he has to do is come out and say, do not block the ICE facility. You can stand and protest. Right. But he doesn't. Instead, because he wants them to do what they're doing. Yeah,
Chicago is known for its ability to stand up and to resist peacefully. So, of course, we're not condoning any acts of violence. But that also includes that the federal government cannot unleash tear gas and shoot pepper balls at journalists for just showing up to do their job and to cover the news. This president has intentionally.
They were blocking access for ICE. Can we really call them journalists? They're protesters. Yeah, but they're blocking access. I've seen the video. They shoot them when they start blocking access. Right. If you're a journalist, you have your First Amendment. Ain't nobody can say that they don't have their First Amendment right to protest around these ICE facilities. The problem comes along when you block access to these facilities. Yeah. It's common sense. Yeah.
We work to escalate violence in the city of Chicago and cities across America. We're just simply defending our fundamental right to our democracy. This president has made it very clear he doesn't support this Constitution. And if Congress, which our framers designed for Congress and the Supreme Court and the courts to provide checks and balance, if Congress will not hold this president accountable, I will.
Trump's not following the Constitution. He's following the Constitution. People in the country illegally. Yeah, he's holding you accountable. Y'all open y'all's doors to these illegal immigrants. You're breaking the Constitution. Yeah.
Checks and balance. If Congress will not hold this president accountable, I will.
And what are you going to do?
Well, just this past week, I signed another executive order. We have 3 sweeping executive orders to make sure that the fundamental right to protest is intact. We're making sure that people know their rights in all of our sister agencies. And
an executive order does that? To ensure that everybody has a First Amendment right? What kind of you don't have to write out.
The departments are working in accordance with the local ordinance. And then now public property that the city owns, ICE cannot prepare its weapons on school parking lots. ICE cannot prepare to disappear families in the parking lots of libraries. That's not what these public accommodations are for.
You're crazy. Even those stupid executive orders, all that is political theater. Yeah. Those executive orders does not stop ICE from doing what they need to do. You're an idiot. You saying Trump is against the Constitution. You don't even know what the Constitution entails. You say you sign an executive order and ensure everybody has their First Amendment right. They already got that. You're an idiot. He signed an executive order so ICE can't engage in deporting illegals on city property. That sounds crazy. He needs to be arrested. Yeah. I guess ICE and the federal government, they're waiting for him to do something really stupid. Yeah. I don't think he's that dumb. He hasn't did anything forcefully, physically. Like when he signed the executive orders, I mean, like, what are your cops going to do? Is it going to be a shootout in Chicago? ICE and Chicago PD, they're going to be shooting each other? Yeah. You know what's crazy? Think about that. That is crazy. Yeah, I know. He's pitting local law enforcement against the federal government. Just because the federal government is deporting illegal immigrants from his city. Right. You know, it just reminds me of the Civil War. North versus South, they want to keep their slaves. He wants to keep his illegal immigrants. Man, these Democrats, they never change. Yeah. It's the same thing when what do you call it? When they want to desegregate the schools. Mm-hmm. Remember, I think it was Alabama. Right. They're sending those kids to the school, and then I think it was the governor of Arkansas. He's like, no, they ain't coming in. He was there or something. They sent the National Guard and escorted those black kids into that school. Right. Trump is well within his authority to send the National Guard and troops there. Especially when you're telling your police officers to stand down. Yeah, states have their rights, but the states cannot trump the federal government when it comes to federal law. Right. You can't do that. That's why I don't understand how these states get away with sanctuary law. It's like we have all these weak Republicans. They don't do nothing. Yeah. Right. Trump's finally doing something about it. Yeah, finally.
We literally had a South Side neighborhood under siege with Black helicopters, Black Hawk helicopters, where individuals who were sleeping peacefully in their communities had masked, armed men stick long guns in their faces. This is not the type of America that our ancestors fought hard to create.
What are you talking about? These people in our country illegally. Well, that's the perfect time to arrest them when they're sleeping. Yeah, it's called an element of surprise. Get the drop on them. Get the drop on you while you in your bed in your underwear. Open up!
This is a fundamental attack on our democracy. It's not.
Well, you keep saying that it's a fundamental attack against our democracy. When we protect when we arrest people who break our immigration law, how's that a threat against our democracy? Well, that's their voters, Kevin. They get House seats in Congress for them. That's why they want them there. He has ulterior motives. He wants these illegals because it's more representative for them. Yeah, because they count them during the census, and based on your population, you get more seats in the House. I'm glad these Republicans are gerrymandering the hell out of their states, making them even more redder, because the Democrats been doing this for decades. Yeah, protect our democracy. Yeah, you're protecting your representatives that's already been chosen because of that census. That's what you're protecting. Yeah. Yeah, y'all a threat to democracy. Y'all cheating. Yeah, y'all actually using foreign nationals against American citizens for power.
Not about immigration. It's not about safety. It's about authoritarianism. And we're going to push back, and we're going to defend Chicago and all American cities against this tyrant.
You
Okay,
suck.
but let me just go to the issue, like at the Chicago apartment building overnight last week. This is
Yeah.
according to
Listen to this.
DHS.
Listen.
37 undocumented immigrants were arrested in that operation. The building was targeted because it was known to be frequented by Trinidad Aragua gang members. I mean, how do you respond to people who say these sorts of efforts are making the country safer?
It is.
Look,
Let's listen to what he's got to say, everybody.
I'm working hard every single day to build the safest, most affordable big city in America. Just this past summer, we had the fewest amount of homicides since 1965. Homicides are down, shooting.
Homicides are down in Chicago. How much are they down? 0.5%?
Hey, over the last 10 years, there's been over 6,000 homicides in
Yeah.
Chicago. Last 10 years.
Yeah. He
That
has
is
a couple
crazy.
of good weekends. He says homicides are down.
And he's not even answering a question.
Right.
He's deflecting.
Shootings are down, shooting victims are down. A lot of work to be done, but we are building a safe, affordable big city in America. But I don't know if
Affordable?
there's anybody in America that believes that armed, masked men showing up with Black Hawk helicopters, sticking guns in the faces of Black women, zip tying Black children, putting
Black people
immigrants
did.
in one van, putting Black folks in another van. This is not what built safety. What built safety is to make sure that we're doing what I've done, working with the ATF and my local law enforcement to get illegal weapons off the streets of Chicago.
Okay, so you work about getting illegal guns. Why don't you work with the federal government and get these illegals out of your city?
Yeah.
And so it makes it safer for everybody. You won't need National Guard troops in your city.
Yeah. Get rid of the illegal guns and get rid of the illegal criminals that's in our country. Why can't you do both? Oh, you guys hate guns. You know what's crazy? He keeps saying
I don't
he's
even
trying
think
to.
he's really working with ATF that much.
Yeah, he's probably just political spin, but he keeps saying he's trying to make Chicago more affordable. That dude voted in a tax hike because they couldn't even fund their budget. So they had to charge more taxes to their citizens.
Yeah.
You ought to see their real property taxes, their sales tax.
Yeah.
Man,
Highest in
the
the
property
country.
tax. It is crazy to live in Chicago.
Yeah.
And he's trying to make it more affordable there. How can you do that if you're raising everybody's taxes up on businesses? How are you making it more affordable for everybody? You're not. You're just lying.
He's lying this entire interview. I like how she's asking some pretty good questions, but there's no pushback to his answers.
Right. There's nobody challenging him.
Yeah, you're asking great questions, but then when he give you a non-response and he deflect, you should challenge his answers
Yeah.
because he's not answering your question.
Well, this is just an extension of the Democrat Party, really. It's just a propaganda tour. These people suck. What else you got to say?
I'm done.
No, come on, man. Give him a chance. Let's give him a chance, man.
Guns that are being trafficked from states that voted for Donald Trump. If
What?
he was serious about
Cut him
safety,
off.
he
I
would
heard
not have.
enough. This man is
Hey.
insane.
He's blaming the gun violence in the city. They're being trafficked from red areas. This is freaking stupid.
If you know the Constitution, you have a right to bear arms. You have a right to bear arms. You keep claiming Trump is going against the Constitution. During this entire video, everything you said has been against the Constitution. Everything you were saying.
Yeah, totally.